my back.
What
hurt.
up,
Y'all got
though?
some wine?
Man,
Oh, heck
listen.
no.
You like smoking weed?
And I do mean that.
You cute.
Literally.
Y'all got life
Make it
insurance?
make sense.
You want
Those
life insurance?
were the days. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Somebody's Auntie. We are not your mama sisters. We are your auntie with the T. I'm your girl, Natalie Knox. What's good? Wait a minute. Why y'all laughing?
I'm your girl, Keysha E.
And I'm your girl, Chevy the Shegan. And
Who we got today?
Just
We're having a good ass
I don't know what's happening, but we have a special guest
special
today.
guest in the building.
Gang, gang.
We got our girl, Ashley A. Williams.
Yes.
She is an actress, content creator, Floridian,
Fitness enthusiast.
workout. I was about to say workout
Okay.
queen.
Let's go.
In these streets. What's up?
I'm good. What's going on? How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Y'all seem real in the pocket right now.
It's a lot going on.
We always in the pocket.
This is my ex-boyfriend used to say, he's a director. He'd be like, you in the pocket right now. Like
are
when
in
we be
the
on
pocket.
set. Y'all are in the pocket right now. Y'all are
Definitely in
in
the
it.
pocket. Definitely in the pocket.
That's just what that's just like when you really settled in. And you
That's that
super
Florida.
chill.
That's that Florida talk. You're from Florida.
I'm from Florida, but he's from Jersey. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Nice. How long you been in LA?
11 years.
Ooh.
You definitely transplant.
Yeah.
I like when people call me a transplant. Yup, I'm
I'd be like,
here.
no, I'm from Detroit. People are like, oh, you from LA? No.
No.
You can only be from where you're from.
No.
Right.
I like it. The transplant thing, at first I used to get offended, like, but then I was like, yeah, I am a transplant. I'm still here.
Yeah. you
Just
start
like
paying
cauliflower.
taxes.
Still here.
Like,
Not going nowhere.
I'm not going. I do not like cauliflower. That's
don't know.
random.
I like cauliflower.
Cauliflower is
I like it. I like it
Man-made.
better than
just can't
broccoli.
do it.
No,
You
broccoli is
Really?
man-made.
You ever seen a cauliflower tree?
I've seen cauliflower being grown, but broccoli is man-made.
I seen broccoli being grown too.
Broccoli is a part cauliflower and part something else.
They're cousins.
Oh, so cauliflower is the main thing.
Cauliflower is
Yeah.
It's the parent.
and then they made broccoli from
They made
cauliflower.
broccoli.
Got you.
It is.
I like
all,
cauliflower. I
it is all
should just have
made.
some
Cauliflower is
Everything
fried
is made.
some
Cauliflower
buffalo
is not-
cauliflower.
And then nobody asked cauliflower like, did you want to be fried like chicken? Nobody asked.
It's good though.
It needs
Whoever
it, though.
did it right.
You know what place everything is fried, and I see why they country thick. Houston.
They fry everything in Houston.
This is your 15th time bringing up Houston. I feel like you have like a connection to Houston somewhere.
The air fried, the water fried, the chicken fried, the mashed potatoes fried.
Dang.
Oh
I'm gonna have to
god.
But being in a fitness person like you are,
Yes.
how do you balance that? Like when you have those cravings of like, damn, what's some?
Yeah.
I eat whatever I want.
Period.
So,
You're
but
a
I just
passionate
I
eater.
hate people like Ashley.
No,
I just want to say
no.
that. Because I'm going to pay for these ruffles. Three little ruffles I just had.
no, I just don't overeat. So
Yeah.
if I'm craving something sweet, like I think I've told Nat this before, like I'll eat something and then once I'm full off of it,
Yeah, then
I'll
you good.
it's like I'll toss the rest of it. I won't
That's
overeat.
me.
Yeah.
Because
That's
I'm putting
me.
it back in the
Even
fridge.
if it's like
in the
half
freezer.
a burger or whatever, like I won't finish it. I'll be like, good, I got my craving.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
I don't
huge
have that too,
snacker.
but it makes me wasteful, huh?
I
I'm
don't
a
have
huge-
that muscle.
I do.
I have a,
You don't
like
have
a
the
quart of
discipline.
ice cream, and I'd be like, I'm just going to have a couple of scoops, and then I look up and be like, damn.
And then it's done.
I'm wasteful.
Or almost,
like,
and I'm ready to
crazy
go
now.
finish it.
Like I buy
Like I
something
just,
because I'm
I
craving
wasted
it.
food at like Mastros. Like I just like, cause I just
Oh,
like,
no,
well, I
I'm
just want a
Mastros.
piece of the potato and a piece of this, and that's it.
You don't do leftovers?
You don't do the upper, so that's
Right.
going home
No.
tomorrow.
I don't do leftovers because I don't like the microwave. So
I don't either.
For
Or
me,
in
I
the
gotta put
oven.
it back on the stove.
Or in the oven.
Yeah.
Yeah, the toaster oven.
I'm not eating leftovers unless I
Okay.
cook them.
So, actress, content creator, you are one of the leads in
You okay?
Yeah,
Double
man, it's a little
Cross.
shiver. It
A
was
little
a little-
nippy, little cold. I was like, it is a whole lot happening today. I don't know.
Like it's a little chilly in here.
Yes. So what is that experience like for? Because I believe that was your first lead role, right? Or wrong?
This my first. It was first like show lead.
Let's go.
I've been a
Shout
lead
out.
in films before, but it was my first like TV series.
Okay.
Lead. Yeah.
So what was that experience like? What was the audition like? What was the process like? What was the experience like of
So I
playing that
actually didn't
role?
audition for it.
Oh.
My good friend Brett is the CCO at the time, but now he's the general manager of All Black. He had a friend who was in town who's a writer and a director, and because he got this new job at All Black, which used to be UMC, which was owned by Rob Johnson, who used to be BET, he said, "Hey, I'm gonna put you in charge of our scripted content now." So as a good friend, he started to put his friends on. Said, "Hey, I
Love
like your
that.
concept of your show. I'll give you 6 episodes to do the first season. We'll see how it goes." I met her because they went out to lunch, and I was just riding along with him. And then we just got to talking, and she was like, "I really like your energy. I really like your vibe." 6 months later, she was like, "I wrote a show, and I wrote you for the lead."
Let's go.
And
I love that.
And I almost didn't believe her. I said, "Listen, I'll be so happy to read for it. Like, thank
Yeah,
you so
yeah,
much."
you
She was
have
like, "I'm telling you, like, I wrote it for you, so it's not. You don't have to audition for it." And so I was like, "Great." And so it's been like 4 seasons now.
Nice.
That's amazing.
That is so dope. What's for you is for you. Listen, you got your name on it.
Yeah,
That's
it's great.
That's a blessing for sure. How do you feel like you balance? Like I know Chevy mentioned a little bit about the fitness and the acting, and I know you do some volunteer work and everything. How do you balance everything? I know you said you've been out here for 11 years?
Yeah.
How do you balance living the life you want to live here?
I
For
think
so many people who've gone back, and this is like, I'm
Yeah.
lonely, I'm this is hard.
Yeah.
You've seen to navigate it really well. What's your secret?
A lot of lonely like meltdowns by yourself, and then recollecting yourself,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
calling people that aren't in the industry.
Yeah.
Like my best friend, I'll call her and she'll reassure me, right? It won't
Yeah.
even be somebody who gives you that industry talk, like, oh,
Yeah.
just keep
You
on
got the
going.
road.
Da-da-da-da. She'll be like, well, you didn't move out there for nothing, and da-da-da. And so it's a different kind of pep talk, and so those people keep me grounded,
Yeah.
and it makes me want to remain out here just to be as authentic as I can to why I even started in the first place.
Yeah.
So I don't get caught up in anything that is kind of just like tangible and has no importance to it. And
Yeah,
then
I love that.
I've been playing sports ever since I was a kid. So working out, I'm never not gonna work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to just sit home and do nothing.
Yeah.
So that just that's like second nature.
Yeah.
And then I was a science major. So when you get out here and you start realizing that you're doing a lot of acting stuff, you actually start missing the stuff that you genuinely like.
yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I was like, listen, I used to want to be a doctor in real life. So how can I just get back into it where I'm just in the environment of a hospital? And if I can't work in the hospital, I was
can
like, I'll
act.
volunteer in the hospital.
Yeah.
Acting
Yeah.
is-
Or
So how
like
did
I
you-
do now, act in the hospital.
How did you go from that? You went to school for
Yes,
medicine, right?
Yeah,
For your
biological
pre-med? Or-
sciences was the degree. But then around like sophomore, junior year, I was like, I don't want to be a doctor anymore. But I was already too far into the chemistries and the
Yeah.
physics, and I was
He's
like,
like, you're gonna take this
can
degree.
I curse on camera?
Yeah,
Can you curse?
yeah,
I was like, fuck
absolutely.
that. I was like, I can't like throw all that away and just start like a theater major now.
Your
And so-
parents gonna be at Thanksgiving like,
what?
she dropped out for film.
My parents are immigrants, so they're Jamaican. So my dad, I was terrified to tell him. I was scared. He was like, because from the day you're born, you're like, you're gonna be a doctor or
Yeah.
you're gonna be a lawyer. And I was like,
Actually, Dad.
I'm kind of. So he was the last person I told, and that was after I graduated and everything. Like I waited and be like, listen, just so you know,
Yeah.
I'm the
You
doctor.
don't
That's
know
like
that.
the episode of All American
Yeah.
Homecoming. I don't know if y'all watched that. Where
I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen
Oh,
it.
okay.
either.
It's a girl on there who is supposed to be pre-med and she wants to dance and she's scared to tell her daddy because they had this thing where she was gonna be a doctor. So, but
I
Yeah.
like what you said about you called your friend that's not in the industry.
Yeah.
And I think in LA that the whole like this facade of like you're around fake people or all this other thing, like you create your own tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't have people that's in the industry, that's like your level to be like, okay, like yeah, I could talk to someone who's auditioning for the same films or whatever, but I also have my homegirls back at home
Yeah.
who
Keep you
just
grounded.
are as happy for me as if they was in the same environment.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. So have you experienced like moving away because you've been in LA for 11 years and people kind of being like, oh, you so LA? Because I still don't know what that means. But when people are like, you're so LA, you're so like TV now, like you don't return calls back. Do you have people that's like that in your life or did you ever go through that?
That told me that I was LA.
Yeah.
No. I think
I
I
think I never
think
got
I was
that.
pretty too terrified of like imposter syndrome.
Mhm.
So I think I was like steered away from being LA because I was already like invested in like I don't even know if I'm good enough yet. Like,
But more
how
so
could I
like
be
your
a-
lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
So like when I went vegan, everybody was like, "Oh, you vegan? You so LA?" And I was like, "Why is it so LA when I'm just taking care of myself?"
Right.
You know what
Oh,
I'm
I
saying?
see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but or it could be anything from career to the way you wake up in the morning to the way you go about life and like your compassionate like lifestyle, whatever it is. But I think that it's very important to have those friends that like kind of keep you ground.
Yeah.
But you never experienced that.
I've
Always
never had
experienced
anybody
that.
say that.
You
to
haven't
me.
either. I've had people say that
I've
to me
never
too.
had
Like
that.
you don't, like you say, return phone calls.
Yeah,
or,
like you're so LA. It's
I
like
think
no, I
probably
really
'cause I
do.
joke
Because
Because I
they,
return
they
phone
mean it
calls.
seriously, but
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you in LA? You can answer the phone, or they see the lifestyle via social media, and it's just like they assume a certain type of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Probably
so
'cause
I've
I
had
always
people say
return
that to me
people
too.
phone calls.
Huh?
Probably because I always return people phone calls.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just so
That's
me.
true.
Like
That's
I'm
just an
always
example,
been
but-
so me that yeah.
Yeah, I get
But
it.
they've said it to you
Yeah.
before with the whole vegan thing and everything.
Yeah, they was like, "Oh, you vegan?" I'm like, I just get sick a lot.
Right.
What do you want me to do? Something
you-
has to change.
Do you feel any pressure to because I know you create content, you're a content creator
Yeah.
as well. Do you feel the pressure in being an actress and being in the industry of like I have to post on social media. I have to have my numbers up on social media. I have to like that social media.
I think it inevitably plays at some point in your mind. Like, am I doing enough? Right? But I think at some point you just realize you just want to do what makes you happy. And so if you're somebody who's like, I can do that consistency thing really well and it won't drive me crazy, then okay. And then some people are like, I'm not into it. I can't post every day. I can't whatever. And you just have to figure out what works best for you. But it definitely plays in your mind. Like, should I be doing this? Should I be posting this? Do I need to create this? Am I doing enough? And you just have to figure out what works best for you. Because sometimes the platform that seems to be the best thing right now, some people just don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
And
Which
so,
is crazy because Instagram didn't exist when we were in college or,
Facebook.
all this social media. Facebook,
Right.
I remember Facebook just started and I went to the library. I was like, what is this book that everybody's talking about? So I was really like super confused. I'm
She
like,
really
wait, what is
said
this?
that.
I literally went to Eastern. We went to Eastern. Well, you went to Eastern, but we didn't know each other at Eastern. But I went to the library and I was like, what is this Facebook thing? So what role do you think that plays in like our careers and stuff? Because I know a lot of casting agents these days say, when I submit for an audition, they ask me to leave my social media page. I'm just like,
they do.
dang. So I guess what role does that? What do you think that plays?
I think they think, if you have a large fan base, they think that equates to monetary
To
value.
numbers,
And I don't feel like it's been a proven track record yet. I try to pay attention to a lot of the people who do have high numbers, and they do get opportunities. They do get movie roles. They do get whatever, but they're not getting, what a real actor would want or how they would want their career to build, right? So they're essentially always playing themselves in the opportunities that they get, and I think that's what they get cast for. Now, are 10% of their 1.3 million followers going to a movie theater? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's not sustainable. I think that people may, even with like comedy, everybody was like booking social media comics.
Yeah.
And people would come out and they would pack these places out. And actual comics who are funny as fuck can't get a weekend at this improv, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But then it's not sustainable because the people will come out and like, oh, this person isn't a comedian,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah.
like the comedy club is like, oh, book them because we're gonna make this money, but it's not. No one's gonna come to the next show, kind of thing. And so with movies, I see the same thing. It's like all about your numbers. Because I started feeling like that too. I wasn't posting nothing at all. And then shout out to Kev on stage. Kev was like, "So Keysha, you just post cute pictures?" Like,
Yeah.
So then I started, like, all right, let me start. And then Brendan was telling me too, like, you need to make content, whatever. And it is this kind of a pressure. It feels like. And I was so like, I don't want to be a social media, whatever, actress, comedian, none of that.
Right.
But I do understand how it helps. I think it has to be a combination of both. Like, you still have to have the talent because people do get opportunities off their numbers. But then it's like, if you can't act, then what do you know? You're not gonna grow, right? So I do see how it helps in like having the numbers, putting out content. I see how my numbers have grown since I've been consistently trying to like post content.
Yeah.
And just like. But not for the reason of just being like, oh, I have X amount of followers, or you know what I mean. But like, I do see how, and it's unfortunate. I feel like because it's so.
It is unfortunate because it didn't used to be that. It didn't start with that. It literally was like, oh, I just want to share my life. Yeah. So was that you the other day? That was like, oh man, I hate the Instagram started doing videos.
Yeah.
Like,
I used to like when
it
it was
used
just
to be like,
pictures.
it just used to be. Even Facebook has changed and all this live stuff. And but like you said, I do see the benefit. For some people, it is a huge benefit. It's like, back in the day, let's say Eddie Murphy didn't have this outlet, but now if he had it, a social media, how popping would he be, right?
It's definitely opportunity there. You know what I mean? I definitely think that is opportunity there, and it's cool because you can see people who aren't necessarily in LA.
Yeah,
right.
I just think that when it's used the wrong way, I think when it's all about how many, this person got 1 million followers, I'm casting her, and it's like you got 15 girls who are auditioning that are talented as fuck.
Numbers scare me. Numbers scare me. I did one reel. And my followers shot up so high.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And now my page is getting I got a fake page every other day. Like every other day.
I've never had a fake page.
It's so scary that you start to reevaluate, like, what do you want to put on Facebook? Which pressure you, not Facebook, but Instagram. What you want to put out on social media. Now you're like, but should I put that on there? I want a certain part of my life for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you could get the vulnerable side of understanding wellness or understanding my fitness, like ups and downs, and understanding like my comedian lifestyle, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it just be like, but I want this small part for
just
me.
For you. Yeah.
And it be a relationship.
I think it's
and then it
that's
goes
how
into
you
being
use
secret.
it.
And then it's like, it's not a secret, but it's just like when your life is already out there and now you have all these people behind you following you, like it's a different feeling. It's a different feeling. And I understand how, like, case in point about who be funny, who don't. I seen somebody post something about Lil Duval, and I think he's hilarious when I first seen him. He doesn't tell jokes at a lot of his stand-ups anymore. He just sings and dance. And a lot of people kind of start to complain about it. But to me, it's just like, I love a little concert that half music, half jokes, you know. But he's funny. Like, anything he posts, we laughing. But when you go see him, you're like, actually, I never have to probably see him again because he didn't tell a joke. He's just performing.
But probably because that's what people now are. If that's what he's posting on his social media and that's what people are following him for, and so he may feel like that's what they want to see in a sense. I don't know. I don't follow him. Oh,
he posts jokes a lot, and then but he has good music though. Yeah, he has some really good music.
Really, really good music.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's backyard auntie approval. Yeah, it's definitely backyard auntie approval.
You were making a point.
No, I was gonna say to her point. I think it's a way that you can post. I post a lot of stuff, and people still don't know. I have friends that be like,
"Me too."
You know what I'm saying? But I post a lot, and people may think they know everything. You don't know everything I did in my day. You know what I chose to show you. Right. You don't know what. You know what I mean? You know, people are like, "What? You in a relationship?"
You
like,
know, I love
I'm never posting
because it's an imaginary land. I could post a picture of a tropic. You'd be like, "You went to Cancun?" I sure did.
All the while you in Malibu.
That's like how you
in Malibu. Like,
you can be anywhere you want to be. You can do anything you want to. Like, social media is just a place where that is imaginary land.
Yeah.
And you should, I'll be honest, people like look at it like people need to humble themselves. People need to do whatever they want to do to make themselves happy.
That's it.
Period.
I mean,
if you want to act like you're rich, but you sleeping on the mat, that's your personal business. That has nothing to do with us. We don't know. We ain't sleeping over.
Well.
No. Once I realized people was taking screenshots and making fake pages or whatever, I took off all of my family members. So I archived all of my personal stuff. Yeah, and I decided that my page was just going to be about career and things that I like. So fitness and stuff. Yep. Because when people start taking things and they make fake pages, or now people have screenshots of your personal loved ones saved in their phone.
That's weird.
Like that type of
stuff. Talking about at the family reunion. No, you was not there.
They'll start calling you cousin.
You got hacked. I got hacked and I had a stalker. I had a really bad stalker, and I didn't realize he was a stalker until he DM'd me my building. And I said,
like a picture of your building?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because I posted a picture of, like, some artwork, but it wasn't too far away from, like, my house. And he posted, I said, okay, this is getting crazy. And so now, like, when people come over, they're like, I want to post, like, I'm like, you got to hit a certain angle. And I don't be being funny, but I'm just like, how you think a lot of these robberies be happening with a lot of these women, their house get broken into? Because it take one address, one license plate. That's all it takes. Yeah. So now, like, it's just you got to be careful. But enough of that. Let's dive into the topic.
Let's dive into it. Before we dive into it, what we like to do with our guest, Ashley A. Williams, is we like to play a game of Smash, Marry, Kill. Okay, so our three for today is we've got Jamie Foxx.
Okay.
We've got Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
We've got Will Smith.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
You said smash, marry, or kill?
Yes.
I kill Will.
No.
Yeah, I kill Will.
She want to be in that. She want to be in that entanglement. She want to be in that mess.
He's not in that entanglement. Jada was.
Listen,
there's too much drama for you.
There's a lot of
drama.
I kill Will. Okay. I would smash Jamie Foxx. I would marry Mike.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. I wouldn't marry Jamie. He's too old for me. And then he has like.
Jamie's so talented.
It's not about his talent, and you know he's a very interesting man outside of acting.
Yeah.
So he's got some stories and some ways about himself, and I'm not interested in marrying that. You know, so I think Mike is at least somewhat level-headed to marry and grow with, something like that.
Hopefully, Lori ain't damage him too bad.
Lori, did you see him at the game? Did you see that video of him at the game? He looked very sad.
Aww.
He looked very sad.
But I read they both are sad.
That's a headline. That's a headline.
Which I'm breaking for y'all both sad.
I wouldn't marry Will Smith. No, I wouldn't marry.
You know why? Because he looked like a ball of fun. He does.
Yeah, he looks like goofy.
And he looks like he can talk about a lot of things. And listen, I like people who can like teach me. And Will Smith seemed like he could teach you a lot.
And he got kids. You got them step kids.
They older.
Now.
You don't like kids.
That's kind of like our last guest we had a while. Marcus. He said Oprah, right? Yeah. So kind of like somebody who can teach you, who can. Yeah.
I want to marry somebody I'm physically attracted to. Right, you can be my mentor. I want to marry somebody I'm physically attracted to.
We said marry, kill, or have sex.
So you would marry who in this situation? I'm just curious. Who would you marry in this situation?
I would marry Michael
Michael
B. Jordan.
B.
too. That's
look
not
little.
obvious. You didn't give very like.
Yeah, you got to give me.
You got to give better.
Okay, pick 3.
I mean, it'd have been like
Michael B. Who else?
He giving little
like in our
PP.
age range? Okay, here we go.
yeah,
Michael B. Jordan.
like Steph Curry, like give her somebody.
No,
Ew.
here we go. I'll give you
I mean,
everybody in
if
the
he
same.
wasn't married,
and I'll
obviously,
give you
but-
3
Well,
beautiful
Will Smith's
black
married.
men. Okay, so we'll say Michael B. Jordan,
I like how we change it. Picking 3 new people.
Michael B. Jordan, Trevante Rhodes, and Sinqua Walls.
Okay.
Why does Trevante Rhodes sound familiar?
Houston Moonlight.
And I'm gonna throw an extra in there. I'm gonna throw in
John David Washington.
Oh,
What was you
okay.
gonna throw in?
No
I was
way.
gonna throw in,
Y'all picking easy people. This
No,
easy to choose.
Mary Kill.
That's not
or-
easy to
This is
choose.
Trevante.
That's harder to choose from.
For me,
No,
it's not because I'm
He could
instantly
die.
marrying Michael Steele. Trevante, bye-bye.
Bye.
Javante ain't bye-bye.
Goodbye. Who was the
And
other
I'm
one?
saying-
But
Trevante
Will
and
and
Mary
Mary
have
are
babies,
old. You know what I'm saying?
build
Like
a
you
house.
gave old people with like a hot young dude.
Yeah.
I want, because I want wisdom. I'm trying to see where your mind
Yeah.
is.
Would you marry
Would you-
wisdom?
But it gives an easier pick to be like fuck Mary
wisdom
Kill versus
billionaire?
3
I
like
absolutely
old.
would.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into the topic.
jump
So
into the
the way
topic.
we do it is we pull our topic out of a wine glass. So you find out, and the guests find out, and we find out what we're talking about. all
Chevy.
the time.
Oh, my bad. You can't do that on camera.
What was she doing?
I had my fruit snack. I didn't know you couldn't.
You
eat
can eat
that.
as long as you're not like
Yeah.
chewing into the mic.
As long as you like-
I did that one episode.
So Ashley, we don't know what we're pulling here. We don't know what we're talking about. We
Ooh,
never know.
Surprise, surprise. What do we have for them, Johnny?
What?
Ooh, yeah.
Kids.
What?
Kids?
It's just
Y'all
says
talking
That's
about
the only
kids?
thing.
Kids. Having kids, adoption, sperm banks.
Kids, adoption, sperm banks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how I feel about
Ooh.
kids.
Just my
I
laugh.
feel like we talk about kids a lot on this show. It's a sign you might be getting pregnant this year. But
Not only Keysha.
only
Only
Keisha.
Keisha.
I'm not saying I'm not, but I'm
She talk about it
but I'm
so
also
much.
like,
Kids is
Okay.
like often. Okay.
So kids.
Yeah.
Are you? So it's three like buckets. Having kids, adopting kids, and would you go to a sperm bank?
I definitely want to have kids.
Definitely want to have.
Definitely want to have kids.
how many kids?
2. The third one is gonna be a mistake. It's gonna be we didn't
Not a
know.
mistake.
We didn't plan you basically. You're not planned.
Just
But
to let
yeah,
you
I
know,
think
little
3.
guy, I
yeah.
got your back. You're not a
But
mistake.
I was that. My mom told me I was that. Not a mistake. She said, "Listen, we knew when we were having your sister, but we were shocked." She was like, "I
Yeah.
was shocked when I found out I was
That's how it was
pregnant."
my little
How?
brother.
They always shocked after the first baby.
Right.
Well, because she was like, we weren't planning for it, and she was like, back then they didn't track ovulation either. So she was like,
Ma'am or condoms because my mom had them back to back.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm so surprised. How?
yeah, she was
That
shocked.
first baby, you be fertile after.
Yeah.
My grandma had 13 kids all in a row. 2 of my aunts are the same age for like a couple of
You
months
do
out
have a
there.
really big family. Wow.
Yeah.
Me too.
Wow.
Yeah.
8 of us. 5 girls, 3 boys.
Oh wow.
Wow,
Nah,
that's
my
why I want to
sisters are
marry
9 months
into. I don't
apart.
have a big family at all. When I
Yeah.
marry into a person with a big family because I'm big on family too, and I
Yeah.
see how you are with your
Yeah.
people and. With
It
you
always
as
seems
well.
overwhelming for the other person who doesn't have a big family.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta
No,
be
I
all
want
your
How
to
they
bring it
step
on.
in and they're like,
Yeah, it's
whoa.
like,
How do you feel about sperm banks, though? Do you feel
I
like...
wouldn't go to a sperm bank.
I mean, what...
I wouldn't go to a sperm
Well,
bank.
let's say you get to a certain age, like one of our previous episodes, the lady was I
Yeah.
think 36. And she
Okay.
was wondering if she should freeze her eggs because
She has been
she's-
dating 4 years.
right, she hasn't been
Yeah.
on a date, she hasn't been in a relationships. So
Yeah.
is
If
there
I
a
don't have a
certain
kid next year, I'm
age
going to a sperm bank.
where you would get to the point where you would go to a sperm bank.
I don't think so. I don't think I would ever go to a sperm bank. I think I would have to talk to somebody that I know.
Yeah, that's
That I
very
trust.
scary. Sperm bank is very,
Because that
very
means-
risky.
I'm sure now it's super, super like detailed about who the guy is, way more than back in the day. But I still would feel like I have no connection to this man.
It's a whole. So we
nothing.
were joking one time, me and my homeboy, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm too short. I couldn't. They wouldn't accept his sperm basically." And I was like, "What?" And I
They
didn't think
didn't?
about that because it's a height requirement, right?
What's his height?
Wow.
He's probably 5'6" or 7", maybe probably 5'7".
So average, I think, is 5.
So then I got curious. Like, I never even thought about anything about a sperm bank. So I started looking it up, and it was like some websites are like super detailed, where like it tells you their hobbies. Some people I was like,
Right.
"Oh, you sound like a
Yeah.
serial killer." Some people was like, but they check their health. They don't show
Family
you their picture.
history.
You can pay
Yeah.
extra things to get like a baby picture because you can't. They don't want you to go
Wow.
and try to find the guy. Like, he has no obligation to your child, whatever.
Right.
And the more I was just reading, I was like, this is so interesting. It's kind of like a roll of the dice, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
if I don't have a kid by next year or so, maybe
mom-
You
I'll
would do that? You would
maybe I'll
consider
just
a
go to
sperm
sperm
bank?
bank.
I think
Yeah.
you would probably more so find somebody you know, like Ashley said, before you
That's
go to a
weird
sperm
to
bank.
me. To be like,
No.
I'm gonna just have a baby with my friend
That
is
is weird too, because what if he tries to come back around and try to be the dad and you meet somebody?
It's just
Contracts.
weird that
Very
we have a
tricky.
kid
It's not-
together and we're friends.
No,
Weird.
no, no,
I
no,
agree
no.
with
I
that.
don't think it's weird.
Contracts.
Yeah.
You gotta have them sign contracts.
But if we're friends and we have a kid together, that's weird. To me. You're just my
Contract.
homie.
No,
And we got a
contract.
whole life, a kid together.
Contract.
What if the
Deep,
contract has
yeah.
nothing to do with the
Because you could say
that's
I could take you
weird
to
emotionally.
court if it like so I was talking to two lesbian women. We were talking about like kids and stuff like that, and I was even to me this might I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm like, oh my god, going to the sperm bank is almost like a project. Like you get to choose like, okay, I want my baby to look like this and have this hair and these eyes, and it gets a little tricky because you start to question God a little bit, but if you're not able to have children, then that's an option for you. But I was asking them like, so how does that work when y'all have like if y'all have a homie that you know that wants to donate sperm, whatever, and they're like, oh, we make them sign a contract. And this was like maybe 6 years ago. I had this conversation. It was like, we don't want them coming around like they're the kid's dad. We don't want them to feel like they're going to babysit the kid. We don't want them to feel like any of those things. Even at 18, all bets are off. And I didn't think about it like that.
Unfair to the
But I'm not thinking
child,
about in
though.
terms of him wanting to come around and be in a child's life. I'm saying you're my friend and I have a child with you. That's weird to me emotionally. That's like
But see, it wasn't
It
like a
depends
sex
on who it
thing.
is.
Yeah, I was
it
gonna say,
I'm not
it
saying
depends
that
on
we
the
had
person.
sex, even if
No,
it's.
no.
I'm not saying that we had sex to have it. It's still weird to me that I got a kid with Donald. That's weird. Like,
But
You his daddy and I'm his mama
It
and we
depends on who it
friends.
is.
Not if y'all-
It depends
yeah.
on
I
who it
get
is.
where you're
Yeah.
coming from. That is
Yeah,
kind of
certain friends. No, I'm not having babies with certain friends. No,
Yeah,
but
certain
if
friends, no.
if there's somebody
But
that I
any
absolutely
type of-
trust,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I know that he's willing to be there financially. It's not just his sperm, and we have an agreement. Then yes,
Yeah.
then I'm going with him.
And that's what I hear a
don't
lot.
know.
And I'm down
That's
with that. And I
scary.
would take your ass to court. I would literally be like, this is
but I
not
want you to
our
be in the
kid.
kid's life. I'm never gonna be
Oh,
like,
yeah,
no,
absolutely.
my kid need a
But no,
daddy.
you create your own rules though.
No, my kid needs
Yeah.
a dad. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be
Oh,
like.
yeah.
You create
That's
your
why
own
that's why it
rules.
Yeah,
depends
but
on
I'm
who
saying,
it
let's
is.
say you meet somebody a year later. Then what?
You're
That's
still
when
the
it gets
kid's
tricky.
father.
Oh, after-
He's
after
still the
she's not
kid's
pregnant?
father.
But
So
you have
now
to meet a man who's comfortable with that. Then you'd have to meet a
that's
friend
like
who's
there's
comfortable
you
with
don't
that.
think single women date? That's just like being a single woman with a child and dating somebody, and that
It's
person
a
comes to
movie
the child life
with
and be that
Jennifer
child's
Lopez.
stepdaddy.
And she was
But I
trying
can
to
see how
have
the
kids.
man would be upset.
Jennifer Lopez was trying to have kids. She met a man. She ended up getting pregnant, but the babies, she ended up having twins, and the babies ended up not being his because she went to a sperm bank before, but she had been dating. She had been having sex all the time. What is this? I cannot think of this movie.
Did they think it was his?
You're saying if you have a baby with your friend,
At that
and
point,
then you
he
meet
did
somebody?
because they had
Yeah.
been dating for
That's
so
like
long.
being that's
But it
what
didn't
co-parents
add up
do.
with
They
them
have
when they went
kids
to
and
the
they have
doctor.
other relationships and they have step parents. That's like the same thing.
Yeah, but it's different when I it's weird to me. Like you said, Donald.
I think it's
and
weird
then I meet
emotionally with
somebody
that
else.
person.
Yeah, the guy that you meet might be like, okay, listen, I love you,
Right.
but you that close to your
Yeah,
homeboy
it's
where y'all had, and then
interesting.
now the homeboys are obviously
just
in the
messy.
picture, so it might make the man feel.
But how
But
is that any
for some
different than
women
somebody
who-
that you were in a relationship with and had a baby with?
There's no
and
difference.
How there's no difference. You actually
Yeah.
fucked that person.
And
Your
this,
friend,
this
you ain't even
necessarily don't
you
have
ain't
to
never
be
fucked
sex.
her.
And I think
Yeah.
it's a little selfish too for a new person to come into your life
try to just
and
take
say,
it.
"Hey, I don't like the fact that you
Yeah.
had a baby with your best friend,
Yeah.
even though you know."
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah." It's
What's
like, bro,
crazy
I just met you.
is I don't know if y'all speaking of there's a Netflix documentary. You've probably seen it because you watch a lot of documentaries. There's
Yeah.
a Netflix documentary right now of a sperm.
Oh, I want to see it. Our
Oh,
Father.
Our Father.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I keep hearing about it, but I
Y'all,
haven't watched
I'm not even
it.
gonna
It's
talk
so
about it. I'm
disgusting.
glad you said that because I was about
Very
to give it away.
disgusting.
He was a sperm donor doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he
I
helped
was
with
gonna-
infertility.
I keep
helped
saying I
me
gotta,
with
I gotta watch
I,
it.
I was about to say the number, but if you're gonna watch it, I'll leave it alone. But it's sick.
It's
and
a
it's
high
the same
number.
thing, which really spooks me about sperm donors because you going to the doctor thinking, and then this y'all gotta watch it. Y'all just gotta watch it. Watch it later and let's talk
And
about
mind
it.
you,
because-
he's
Yeah.
not the only.
I've
He's
heard
not gonna
about
do
it. I'm
that,
like, what is
that,
the,
that,
what
that.
is the angle? Like, what was the purpose of him doing it? I'm gonna watch it, so don't give me
I'm
too
not gonna
much.
say
But
nothing.
I'm like,
I'll tell you
what
the
is
only
the
purpose.
Did you see it?
I did, but I'll say the only purpose that he said why he was doing it is he literally in his mind he made himself believe that he was helping these women.
Yes.
Like he made himself say,
But
"I'm
wait,
helping
they were
them."
going to get sperm donors.
They were going
With
to
their
get sperm
husbands
donors,
or partners.
even with their husbands. Okay, this group. Okay, me and you can't have kids.
Yeah.
Let's go to a sperm donor. Or
Mhm.
I'm
Single women.
single and I want to go to a sperm donor. Both.
So
were
why
options.
was he? I guess I'm confused in terms of like if he's helping them, they're coming to get sperm from people who have already donated sperm.
Well,
So
they're not
why
coming
is
to get
he-
sperm. Actually, they need help like with fertilization. So so the husbands would go jack off in a cup. They would give him the sperm, the doctor, and the doctor would
don't tell her. No,
I'm just saying this is what
he would give them
does.
his sperm instead of using theirs. But what would be what's the point of that?
Because he wanted
Because he made
yeah.
himself believe like, well, I'm super healthy and I'm a doctor and I'm all these things. My sperm is elite. So even though your husband is giving him his sperm.
I didn't know that part. I didn't know that they were going with their husband. It was a fertility thing. I thought it was people who were just going to get random sperm donors.
No.
He was doing it.
One
was a little
was
bit of
couples,
both.
and then one was women who just couldn't have kids, and they didn't. They didn't mention husbands or anything. They were just like single women, like we were just talking about, who were interested in having kids and just couldn't. So then they would go to this doctor.
But the husbands who gave their sperm and then their wives got
Imagine
pregnant.
that shit.
Like decades later, they're finding out that baby's not there. Like their 30-year-old daughter is not theirs, and you're just like, bro.
But speaking of what's not yours,
crazy.
What about adoption?
That's a tough one too.
That's a tough one.
Because I watch a lot of Teen Mom, and
You know what? My grandmother, she worked in Michigan for like a foster care company, and she would take me like, bring your daughter to work day, and we would go to like the Christmas parties and to her client's house. And I seen so many black kids with, white families. And I didn't understand it growing up. I didn't understand it. Some of the kids had, some of the kids were just so different. And I kept asking my grandma, like, why did they take that kid and that kid don't look like them? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did they do that, And for me, like, it, like, opened up my heart a little bit. Like, I would adopt a kid. It has to be a baby, though. It has to be. It has to be between a newborn and maybe like
adopting.
3.
they do, but nobody unfortunately doesn't.
Yeah,
my
majority
aunt
of
had
people don't
adopted
want to adopt
a couple of teenage girls.
Yeah.
Which I feel bad
Oprah
now.
did.
She did. In Africa.
Well,
Oprah did. She looked
I
out.
feel. I do. I think like it's so frowned upon. Like even in our age group, people are like, oh, I never adopt. And it's just at the end of the day, like you don't even realize you adopted your little cousins, and you know what I'm saying. You adopting like your
essentially
friends.
you've
Like
adopted
you
people
have
already.
adopted people. So it is different when it comes to raising.
I think
a human.
For me, honest answer is no. And that is because, and it's crazy because I think people always want to shame you for that. But I think
yes, they do.
They do.
You have to be honest with yourself. Y'all know I'm not a kid person like that, right?
No,
So
somebody
so
else.
For me to adopt a kid that's not my actual child, yes,
Yeah.
I love all people, but this isn't my actual child. I didn't carry this child, I didn't birth this child. I am not actually obligated to this child because I'm not a kid person like that.
Stepmom.
It wouldn't be, you know.
I'm leaning more towards.
I would be doing a disservice.
I just doesn't feel like it would be comfortable for me to be
adopting.
honest.
You wouldn't
Now
adopt?
maybe if I don't know. Maybe if 5 years from now I don't have kids and I can't have kids,
yeah,
whatever.
never say
and
never,
then I'm like,
but
okay, well let me go get a baby.
right now.
Like if I
Did
met a
Angelina
guy,
Jolie and Brad Pitt adopt?
They did, and
for
they
me,
had
I feel
kids
like I
too.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm at the age where I don't know if I want kids or not. I always thought I did, and then I go back and forth a lot. But for me, I want to help people. So I feel like I would adopt, like I work a lot in mental health and treatment, and I work with a lot of at-risk youth. And so for me, it's like, man, I really want to just take you home with me and show you the right way, because at home, their home, it's drugs and it's molestation and abuse and all these things. And I just want to take you. So I feel like the human
I feel like
in
that
me
about
wants
the kids
to like
on The
help.
Wire. When I watched The Wire, I did feel like
There's a lot of responsibility.
Well,
like Dookie, I was like, oh my god, I just want to take him home and help this baby out.
But how did you? I don't want to compare kids to like animals or anything. But sometimes I volunteer at a pet shelter, so a lot of the times you want to take all the dogs home because you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So would you feel like? Would you feel like, oh my God, I need, multiple?
No, I feel like I would be good with one.
Like you're doing
I did my part.
Like you did
I did
okay.
my. If I decided at some point,
But
that
would you adopt
kids,
a teenage kid? Like they need adopting more than the babies.
teenage? That's rough.
I think I would. I think I would if.
Because are you doing it to help somebody, or are you doing
I'm doing it to
for...
help somebody, but I want to also grab a hold of them before the damage is already done.
Those are the ones who need the help most because the damage is already done.
So
versus
I do work
a baby.
with a lot of teenagers, and a lot of them are already kind of set in their ways, and then they meet me, and it's just like, oh, this is a different way of life. So that's a really good question. I don't know.
I think it depends on if you want to raise a kid or if you
it's
want
a
to,
little
like you said,
easier,
just
I feel
help
like, when
somebody.
you get older, when they're older.
Because I don't
So
want
I think it's doing it if you're doing it
because
because you want to help, or you're doing it because you actually want a baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Chevy would do an infant. She would adopt an infant because she wants to raise a child
to 3 years.
Yeah, but Nat could possibly.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do the whole raising.
Yeah, adopt
changing
somebody
diapers
older.
But here's the thing about adopting someone.
I think
'cause
7
almost
is a good
sneezed.
age.
Adopting someone that's like 16, they only really got 2 years in your house. 18.
But you're their parent forever.
You can still parent them.
I'm still a parent
daddy
forever, but however, is at one point if they woke up and decided to choose violence, it's a door.
But they
that
might
they'll
decide
never
to go to
have to come back.
college, and they still need parents to help
No, I'm
them
just
and
saying,
guide
like
them.
in general, like with 16, people be like, "Oh my God, I can't," because they're 16 and we don't know where we getting ourselves into. Like they literally got to 18 to really be with you, honestly.
Yeah.
If it don't work out,
if it don't work out,
and you can drop the ball and be like, you know what, you are a killer, and you're giving Chucky down. You can say whatever.
Like that
you
movie.
out of
You know
there.
what I'm
At that
saying?
point.
You out of there.
Yeah.
You,
know what I'm
are out
saying?
of there. Is what I'm saying. If that's the
Yes.
case,
You
my
gotta go.
cousin adopted. She wanted to adopt a young girl, and when she found the girl, or however the situation went, I don't want to say found like that, but they had a girl to place her with. She had a twin brother and sister who were older. She was probably like 4, and her brother and sister were probably like 11. And my cousin was like, I'm not gonna break them up, so she ended up.
She took all 3.
That's how
beautiful.
They're going to
My
college.
cousin-
They're
my
the twins are
cousin
going to
in
college
Atlanta
this year.
did that too.
Yeah,
That's
so
beautiful.
good.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
That's so dope.
I would prefer
love
people
that.
do that instead of just take
Separate
one.
them, just
And
take
be like,
one,
okay, if I can take 3, I'll take 3, but I'm not just gonna take you because I
Yeah,
like you
and
the
they weren't.
most.
They
Yeah.
they had some maybe like developmental type issues or whatever, but it was never like they weren't like stealing, doing anything crazy. My aunt adopted 2 girls, because it's 2 different things. It's not. One is where she was a foster mom.
Oh,
She
okay.
hadn't actually
She
adopted
had it
them.
for a while, and then she adopted them.
And I was like, they're not gonna make it out. They're not gonna make it out this family because they was like,
high school.
my cousin's kids have graduated high school. They're going to college. Yeah, my aunt, the
That's
2
so
girls that
cool.
she was a foster parent to. They was like stealing out the collection plate. They was like stealing from my grandma. We was like,
my
they're not gonna make it out this family. So she
Yeah,
ended up
no.
having to
Give them back.
She tried and tried and tried. And
So
she
what
had
are
to
you
get them back, but-
so now that we having kids, we all kind of on the same level as that, adoption, sperm. Now when it comes to like you meeting someone that have kids already, and let's just say they didn't have a mother, right? And they express to you like, oh my God, like I always wanted a mom, I always wanted this, da, 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 da. Would you ever consider adopting your like partners, your husband? We're gonna say at this point this is your husband.
Okay.
Would you ever consider adopting your husband's child as your own? If y'all been together for, let's just say, maybe
Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah. If I'm married and it's my husband and he had kids before we got together and he's a single father and we fell in love and I would. Yeah, for sure.
I love
They've
that.
become my kids.
Here's another
Yeah.
question for you, Ashley.
I don't know anybody that's ever done that actually.
Me
Actually,
either.
it's one guy that did on Instagram. He did it. He adopted his wife. I believe they are married. His wife's son. And
That's beautiful.
But the son asked him to be his dad.
Oh, okay.
Which is really sweet.
Yeah, I've seen a video.
Yeah, it was
seen
just
a
really
video of
sweet.
it
I didn't want to
before.
say the name, but it was really sweet.
I have another question for you. So you're very sure you want children.
Yes.
Let's say you meet a guy, madly in love with him. A few months later, he tells you he doesn't want to have kids. What do you do?
A few
Is that
months?
a
Why
deal
you wait a
breaker?
few months?
No, 'cause y'all didn't talk about it. Whatever. Who knows? Let's just say you meet somebody who you're really fond of. He's attractive. He's in the business you like. You like him. Y'all flowing. Y'all have a conversation, and you say, I want kids, and he says, "Oh, Ashley, I'm good on kids right now."
I'm good
Is that
on
a
you.
deal breaker?
Yes.
It's a deal breaker.
And I'm
good
not
on
waiting
you.
months.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
ask that
Okay, let's say
question.
they
Yeah.
What if they
I
fine?
would say
I
just
would
right.
I went on a
What if
date
they
with somebody
fine?
like
You
that,
like,
and he
okay,
was
you
like, I don't
sure?
know. He was like, I don't know if I want to have
Oh
kids.
yeah, or if you
And
got
I was
the, I
like-
don't know. Do you
I was
stick
like, I'm
around?
out.
Like Keisha
No.
said, they
One,
want
I
somebody
wasn't
who
that
wasn't
into
sure.
him anyway, but two, it
No,
was like, I don't know.
He's
It's
like-
too much of a chance.
Certain
Like,
things you have to know. Like you got to
Yeah.
know you want to have kids. You got to know you want to
You
get
wanna get
married.
married.
If
Mhm.
you're
Yeah.
one of those people that's like, I don't know. I mean, I see how I feel when it gets to that point. Like
You wouldn't stick
Certain
around.
things you got to know.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
I'm
that's too
not
big of a
scared.
thing.
I'm not
Yeah.
scared to have those conversations early on. Because
Yeah.
for some reason, people are scared to have deep conversations
Yeah.
early on in dating because they think that you want to marry them tomorrow, and that's not true. Like I'm too grown to not talk to you on a first date
Let's
about
go.
some real shit.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk, we can talk. And so you should. I would want to know that stuff early on
Yeah.
before a couple months pass. Like where's
Yeah.
your head at? What do you want to do? And then depending on what age they are now in life, like what you really want to do. Because
Yeah.
if you're older than me, then you have some sort of plan for the rest
Yeah.
of your life.
I had a guy who was younger
That's
than me who
very-
was interested, and he asked me if I wanted kids, and I wasn't sure. I was the same. I was like, I'm not sure. And he stopped talking to me
Yeah.
instantly. Like, not even
At least he's
dating
not
for
wasting
free.
your
As he should.
time.
As he should.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Yeah.
want to
As he
waste
should.
your time.
And I get that.
That's
And he
the
already,
thing,
he already
people-
had kids too, but he wanted more. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know right now. We'll see. He was like, oh, well, he was very, and I appreciate it. I'm not mad at him. He was like, well,
Yep.
I'm actually looking for someone who wants more kids and who's ready. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he was
Did he
younger
say
than me.
anything
Yeah.
about
And
marriage?
I think that's what people should do.
We didn't
Hello?
even talk about. We didn't even talk about that. He
He
was
wanted
yeah,
kids.
he wanted all that. He was ready. He was. I think that's what got it from me. He was moving way too fast, and I'm just like,
I
don't
like
know.
I
guys
think
like
that is-
that. I like guys that's very assertive and just like, okay, I know I want kids. I know I want marriage. But as I'm growing older, I just have this thing like, I'm going to meet somebody younger who's going to get me pregnant. I just have this whole like thing in the back of my head. I do.
Why is that your thought?
What? Because I feel like I'm not like, okay, so let's be honest. Right now, where we at, like, how many guys are you meeting right now that's just like, I want kids?
Everybody I
Man,
met.
the guy walked up to me last night at the bar that we were at last night, and he said, "How old are you?" I said, "I'm old enough." And he was like, "I said I'm in the 30s." He said, "Listen, I'm 34. I don't have any kids yet. I don't know if you have kids."
I had this conversation before.
But are you? Can we talk about it? And I said, "I didn't even tell me his name." I said, "Sir."
See, that's even
I said, "Sir, get
scarier
home
to me.
safe." Huh?
That's even scarier to me because you just want kids. Like some
Yeah.
men,
It
just
was
like,
literally
oh, let's have
that.
kids. You don't care about the connection.
I've never
you just
came
want
across
babies.
anybody that was like, I just want kids. I've never came across that. I've also never came across anybody who was like, I don't want kids. It was one dude I went on a date with who said he didn't know. He was unsure. And I was like, I'm good.
Yeah,
and I think that you
didn't want
gotta
kids.
cut
You
stuff
want
off
kids?
of you.
No, you don't want kids.
I do want kids.
Oh.
She wants her
She
own
don't want.
kids.
She don't want to be a
Yeah.
stepmom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You gotta keep up.
Every episode.
She don't want to deal with nobody else's kids.
I didn't like kids.
I said it before. I never wanted kids until probably the past couple of years. And then I was like, okay, I do want
we
to.
know.
We know.
First of
Okay.
all,
We
First
know
of all,
that
I'm
changed.
getting older. My life has settled.
Okay, older.
Me not wanting kids, part of it was like the responsibility. I like to get up and go and do what I want to do. I like to
Same.
travel. And now that I'm getting older, my life is more settled. I'm not hanging out every weekend, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about the future. What does my next chapter look like? You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
for
It looks
sure.
like me
Because your
investing in my
chapter
kids.
is
And
now.
Yeah.
so that's important.
Yeah.
Like if a dude don't want that, I'm not gonna waste my time. I think that
Exactly,
those are
yeah.
conversations you absolutely need to have
For sure.
up front.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You absolutely need to be on the same page about it. You
Yeah.
absolutely do not need to stick around thinking, oh, something is going to change or I'm going to change this person. If it's a big deal, something like kids and marriage, if
Big
we're not on
deal.
the same page about, because there are a lot of people who don't want to get married. They don't,
Right.
Yeah.
and they'll be a life partner, but they don't want, okay, that's not going to work for me. You know what I mean? And so I
Yeah.
think you got to be
Very clear in your intentions.
yeah, very
Yeah.
clear and like,
I want a life partner.
zip off.
Yeah, and weed
I
out
need
the
a
ones that
married, I
don't
need a
work.
husband.
That's
And weed
part
out the
of
ones that don't work out. Like I'm just
Yeah.
saying, don't waste nobody's time anymore.
Yeah.
Like just know what you want
Yeah.
and move in that direction. And if you're in line with people that's not there, then
Peace
step
out.
to the side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let the next
Don't
one
stop me
in.
from getting what I
Dang,
want.
you sound like somebody. Somebody just said this to me. It was like, you don't know what you want. I was like, it's not you.
I know what I want. I just
I don't
know
know,
that
but it wasn't
it's
you.
not you.
You don't know what you want. You want
And
to
that's
get
okay
married.
too. And people gotta accept
You know where you
that.
wanna
People try
live.
so much to just stay
Yeah.
and change things about people. It's like, no, you gotta
So
accept
don't
that
force
too.
me to be in your world. You got to be in mine. Like
That's
we got to
it.
have an equal
Because there's somebody
world.
out there who wants to just be a life partner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say just in
I
that
thought
way, but I'm
life
saying who
partner-
doesn't.
My
I
mom
thought
is
that
like
does
that.
mean.
Yeah.
Oh, that just means basically commitment without marriage.
We don't get married. Yeah.
Got it.
My mom and my stepdad are like that. But I mean,
Yeah.
mind you, they got married. They met. Sorry, they didn't get married. They met when we were like in college, right? So my parents and
Shout out to
Yeah.
Ashley Mama.
shout out to Juliet.
She's cool.
she's an absolute queen.
She's amazing.
They both had kids from previous marriages that were
Yeah.
grown, and they were like, "Listen, I love you," and my mom was like, "Listen, I'm not going through another divorce, possibly, so
Yeah.
we're not gonna get married." They've been together for like 13 years now.
That's good.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's good.
That's good for people who think like me
Yeah.
that you have to get like I always like my parents have been married for like 30 plus years and I'm like I want that.
but that is your
Yeah.
example, though.
Yeah.
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 And there's
So
nothing
that's-
wrong
that's
with
a
if
good
that's
way
what you
too, like,
want.
That's
yeah.
a good
Like that is
example.
what I want.
Yeah.
I want the commitment. I want a marriage. I want to
Yeah.
take the vow to God.
But it's cool.
I want to
see
be the
that
one to
it's
make
not
the
that, it
decision.
still
If you
works.
want life
Yeah.
support, no.
Like my step, but it's dope to see when it's not that it still
Yeah.
works. Like you're like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah, and that's what I
Yes.
think.
I love
It's
that.
whatever is for you, whatever
Yeah.
works
Yeah.
for you. There's somebody else out there who is like,
And the
perfect
person
and
that's
that
for you
works,
is gonna
and
think the
that's fine.
exact same
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
fine.
Aw,
Yeah.
Where is he?
Please,
Hello,
All
I'm ready.
come my way.
we gotta
Any
wrap
day
this
now.
up.
Shorty swing my way.
Unfortunately,
Email time.
so we're
tea
gonna
time.
go to
We
what's
say that.
called tea time, which is where we have the viewers send us emails if they have a crazy
time.
story, if they want some advice, if they just have a personal question they want to ask us,
Okay.
and we answer it. So we keep it anonymous. This is a niece, one of our
Hey,
nieces.
Niecy.
Hey.
Hey, ladies, just a quick little story to see if I was wrong or not. Okay.
Wrong.
So there was this guy, we were lightweight talking, hadn't gotten serious, just a date here and there, never been intimate. Probably had been on a total of 2 dates. Had maybe 1 or 2 I want to stop by and see yous. Cool. I wasn't really feeling him like he was feeling me. Nonetheless, he was a cool dude, so I didn't spin him every time he tried to see me. This one particular time he called and said he wanted to see me and we should go out to eat or something. Then he made a mention of me paying this time in a joking manner. I thought for a second like, okay, it ain't gonna kill me, so I said, that's cool, I can pay this time. We set it up for the next day, picked the restaurant and time to meet up. The day comes, he confirms with me that we're still on, blah, blah, blah. So we get to the restaurant, we place our orders, we kicking it, we wait for a while for our food to come. And then it comes. This nigga immediately asks for a to-go container for his food. After the waitress left, I asked, why do you need a to-go container? You already know you aren't going to finish all of your food. This nigga said, oh, no, I already ate. I'm going to take this for lunch tomorrow.
You're lying.
This nigga knew, a lot of this niggas in here. This nigga knew 24 hours in advance that we were going out to eat, but came already full with pure 100% certified intentions on getting a meal for lunch the next day. So here's my problem with this. I felt like you used me for a free meal. It wouldn't have been bad if he had at least played it off and ate a little. The purpose was for us to get together and kick it over a meal, not for me to sit there and eat alone and cover your lunch for the next day. I ain't never been all into what a dude can do for me, but that was some real broke shit. And this nigga asked me, he asked me and chose going out to eat with me paying. I didn't ask when I could see him. Needless to say, I never hung out with him again, and his calls went unanswered. Was I wrong? Sincerely, lunch date with the rolling eye emoji.
Wow. First
Not
of
at
all,
all.
niece, we love
Not
that
at
email.
all.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
That was a
nice.
great story. What?
Not at all.
He did it on purpose.
Yeah.
First of all,
He did it on purpose because the first 2 dates he paid for, and he was trying to be like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like the third one, she got it, and I'm
Right.
taking this for lunch.
I
He
think
did
for
it
me,
on
that's a
purpose.
little soon.
To what?
Pay
To
for
be
a
like,
date.
to be like, can you pay for the date on the third date?
That is very
Number
soon.
one.
Did we like the first 2 dates?
Like,
She said they were cool,
Yeah,
right?
She went for the third
that
one.
she wasn't
so-
really into him, but they were
Yeah.
cool. But I just feel like when a dude is dating, I don't know. For me, it's like if you dating me, I don't mind. I used to be this way because my dad told me this when I went on my first date to Red Lobster. He gave me a $50 bill. He was like, if you ever have to spend this will be your last date with him. So that's always been my mindset, and that's how the men in my
I
family
love
are.
that.
They take
Yeah.
care of everything, right?
Mhm.
But then I got into a relationship one time, and like time had went by, and he ended up saying something in a joking way about me paying. And I thought about it like, dang, I could pay for him. This is my boyfriend. He always look out. And then when I tried to pay the next time, he wouldn't even let me. But it was just like, it felt good to know you try, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that kind of opened my mind to things where it's like, I don't mind. And I'm very thoughtful. I do nice things and buy things for my dudes, but I never really think to pay for dates, right? So now it kind of changed my mind, and I'm okay with that. But I feel like when we still in that phase of dating each other, like a third date, I just think that's too soon to be
I don't
asking
think
me
they
to pay
were
for a
dating
date.
each other.
I'm just saying, or hanging out, whatever. I think a third date is just too soon to be like, she should pay for the date.
That
was
means
number-
he
that was
means
number
he didn't
one.
look at it as a date then, because I just went out with somebody a few days ago and I
I
paid.
think
we
dudes
we
look
got
at it as
pancakes,
dates and
we
do
were
that.
just cool. It was like our 4th time hanging out, and I paid. So he must have went in with the intention of
It's a date.
no, we just cool.
No.
No, he could
Oh.
think.
If
I
he
think
asked
he
you
thinks
to
that it's
pay,
a date. I think some dudes do
really-
that. So that
Oh,
was number
wow.
one. Where in the story I was like, Number two, sir, how you gonna
Ma'am.
come get a whole to go?
No, that's
That was
wild.
horrible.
No,
That's
you're
why he did it.
absolutely not wrong for not talking
I'm
to him
not
again.
paying for nothing on the third date.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
I need to
feel
be
like,
wild. I need to be wild
Facts. That's a fact.
to
yeah,
pay
that's
for a
pretty
date.
early.
But
I
if
need
The
to
you-
be wild.
audacity, the damn audacity. You sat there and was like, yeah, you could
Because
just
baby, we
got
could have
mad
got split
to go.
bills.
Well,
We could have went bowling. We could have
Yeah.
did anything. So that was. It felt like there
wouldn't
was
have paid.
something.
So that's
I
my
would've been
thing
like, you wanna
now
split this?
with dating. I'm not, restaurants is off limits for me in dating. We have to do an activity together.
Mhm.
Because I don't
want.
want
I like to eat.
Huh?
We can do an
It's too
activity
easy.
too, but I
I
like
have
to
to eat
eat.
is too.
I wanna do
I'm
both.
already plant based. So where are you taking me?
Mm.
You about to bore
Oh.
me anyway.
See,
I'm
I
not
can
going
eat
to Sweet
anywhere.
Greens. I'm not. No.
Mhm.
So let's
Yeah.
just go to Six
You
Flags.
talking about the first date?
Yeah, the first date. Any date. I want to do something.
I like to
fun.
do fun things too, but I
Yeah.
also
Me
like to
too.
eat.
Me
So
too.
like,
I mean,
feed
if
me,
food is there,
feed me, and then we
Food
can
is
do something else.
incorporated. I actually would prefer somebody who did try to pay attention to shit that you like and
Yeah.
then chose the date
Yes.
off of the activities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because because going to a restaurant is such an easy cop
It's
out.
so
Just do two
easy.
things. You can do
Yeah,
it.
just
about
do
food
things.
That's
and
what I'm
activity.
saying. But that's what I'm
I like to eat.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I would prefer it not be constant eating.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Oh,
oh
my
shit,
goodness,
she
you
actually likes to.
Because now I'm about to
do
get my
XYZ.
gym bill.
Exactly.
But also the fact that he intentionally chose to go eat versus like go bowling, go to the movies, go wherever, and
Yeah,
then
he
got there
went
and
to get a
asked. It
meal.
felt like he was being smart.
Did he
Like,
choose
yeah.
the
did
restaurant
that.
too?
He
No,
chose.
She did. She chose the restaurant and the time, right?
Oh, because if
I
he
think
chose,
he
he definitely
chose the
planned
re-
that.
hold on,
If he
it
picked
says-
He
Ruth
was like,
Chris,
I'm definitely have a Ruth Chris
Yeah,
for lunch
exactly.
tomorrow.
That's very
Exactly.
whack.
if he chose Ruth Chris, that's lame.
That's
But no,
very
you're not
lame.
wrong.
That's- no,
You're
you're
not
not
wrong
wrong.
to
Not at
say
all.
this. Like, he definitely pre-planned this.
That's
you're not
And
wrong.
he definitely wanted lunch.
Oh, she said
So-
we set it up, so I don't know. Yeah, I would never call him again
That's
either
very
because that was.
lame.
Yeah.
I feel like it was petty. It was intentional. It was
Whack.
something underneath that. It was something that he felt of like
Poor.
I want to make her
He
pay for
was
this meal. And then I'm
hungry.
gonna
It could have been that
take
too.
it
Yeah.
tomorrow. Come on,
He was
now.
hungry.
But I
You
would
could've ate a
tell
little
him
bit.
though, like I wouldn't just
We would've-
diss his calls. I would actually answer
Oh,
like,
yeah,
"This
yeah.
is why I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
Do better."
But
No,
it's
we
also the
would've
third
never
date,
left that
so
restaurant
we don't know.
without
I
us
don't know
having
you.
this
I don't think I
conversation.
care. If
Yeah.
it's the third
Yeah.
date, it's also I don't have nothing attached to you, so me
Yeah.
not talking to you
To just
anymore,
go
it doesn't
straight.
matter.
Right.
So I don't need to give you an explanation. I have
No,
no
I just want
feelings
for the next
you.
girl. Like, why? That's lame. Like, I just want you to know why. So I've done that to a lot of dudes. Like, this is why we didn't go out on the fourth date or a second date. This
Really?
is why. Yeah, I'll tell them.
Maybe I'm
Now
gonna
we
do that
leaving
one.
Yelp
We
reviews
don't
after
want
her
her
dates.
She
3 stars. Do not recommend.
This one dude recently did not leave a tip, and I was like, "Why didn't you leave a tip?" He was like, "Oh, they're good," and that was a turn off for me.
Nah.
Never
That's
thought to
horrible.
me, but I wanted him to know this is why we're not going out. This is one of the reasons. It was like 4.
Mm.
You didn't leave a tip. Why?
Did you get him off for a reason?
Because they're broke. Because
Yeah.
they're cheap.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
gave him
you
all
cheap.
for a
You
reason.
can't
I was
be
like,
cheap,
"This is
honey."
cool." He didn't. I don't
If
wanna
you're
talk
going,
bad
if you're
about
going out
anybody,
to
but-
eat and you're actually getting service, I'm not talking about takeout. Getting service, like you
Yeah.
should be prepared to tip. Don't go out just to pay
Even
the
like
exact
Uber.
price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tip my Uber drivers.
That's horrible.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
I've had
That's
someone that
ghost,
helped me.
though.
I was like,
I've
I'll
had
take care of
I've had
it.
a bunch of Uber drivers, and you see me struggling with luggage, my nigga, and you gonna sit in dudes. You gonna sit there, you not getting a tip.
He
Yeah,
must be
no.
one of these guys that are like running around LA right now that are like pissed off that they say women use them for their money.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Like,
one of them.
It's one of them. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get her.
No,
gonna
she come up
spend
here,
money
we
on
get a
me.
split bill.
She,
That's
I
lame.
think split bills is so whack too. I'd rather you just ask me to pay the whole thing. It's just that feels petty. 50-50 is petty to me. Like, oh, this how you gonna be in a relationship? It's gonna be 50-50. Like the bills is $1,672.39. So you owe $500.
well,
like,
in a relationship
I don't
or
like
like
that.
dating.
Like
but I feel like if that's how
like
you are
dating
dating, that's
50-50?
probably how you are in a relationship.
But
But I
I
don't
feel
like
like
the 50-50 aspect
Yeah.
of it. I like either you do it or I do it. And that's
But-
fine.
Right,
But I
right.
heard even actually, I think we talked about this before. You said on first dates, guys don't want to take up because they don't know. They don't want to take the full bill because they don't know. They said dating in LA is expensive.
Yeah, so yeah, that was a story. There were multiple guys in one room. They were chatting and they were saying that, well, we're not dating right now because women like to take advantage of men. They want to go to these fancy restaurants in LA. This is just LA dating. They want to go to all these fancy restaurants and they want us to spend $300 on a meal, and we don't even know if this is going anywhere. We're starting to feel like we're being used for X, Y, and Z. And I was like, the only way you can feel used is if you say yes.
Be creative.
I was like, why
Right.
don't you? I said, why don't you pick a spot that you can afford? Or you
That's
know what I'm saying?
nice.
I don't want you to make us.
No,
I
I'm
think
just
it is
saying,
both
if you're gonna
because-
complain about
Yeah.
what she wants, if she
Yeah.
wants to go to Crustacean or whatever,
Yeah.
but if you're asking her, hey, you pick a spot, we'll go there, it's all good.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
she picks a place, you're gonna get mad at her for picking
Yeah.
a place. It's like, don't go on the dates anymore.
I think it's hard, and
That's a
we both have our things as men and women, different things. But I think for dudes that is kind of foul because I never do this. I've never in my life gone out on a date that I wasn't interested in just for a free meal. But it's
Oh,
plenty
yeah.
of chicks that do, and I think that is
Yes.
foul.
Yeah.
Because dudes are paying money for this, and you know you ain't interested in this
Right.
dude. You know you're not calling him
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I know people
You
do
know
that
you just
too.
want a free meal, and I do think that that's messed up. And at the
Yeah.
same time, me being a woman who's not that, you're not about to think you're gonna take me to Fridays on a date because you don't want to.
No, 'cause all
you
they
know
want
what
you
I'm
to do is
saying?
come
It's
over now. They just want you to come
You're
over.
not gonna do that to me. So it's like, yeah, but I mean, that's rough.
They'd rather
I
do
think
things
fill it
that
out.
just hang out. Like, just come
Yeah.
up by the house and come chill with me. It's like, oh, we're
Yeah,
not spending
no.
any money, but now you getting what you want. You getting my time and
Don't
my
ask me
attention.
to come chill at your house
Don't.
until
Yeah, that's a red
we
flag.
gotta be dating for a minute. We
It
gotta,
gotta
be
be
you know
like
what
a
I'm saying?
house party. And I could bring
Like,
my
not just you.
friends. Yeah.
No, but like you said earlier, put in effort, being intentional in what we're
Yeah.
doing, doing activity. Like me, I'm all about an experience. I don't care if
Yeah.
it's going to eat. I don't care if it's at the beach. Just make me feel something. Like give me an
Yeah.
experience.
It don't have to
Some-
be like for me, like it don't.
I coming to your house. What?
It don't.
I'm not
I
Netflix
date
and
people
chill. I
that
don't even know
like
you like that.
expensive food. So to
I
me,
didn't do it
I'm
like
just
that.
I'm just here for the cocktails. Really, that's where the bill gonna go to the cocktails.
To the drinks.
Yeah.
And I'm the drunk one at the restaurant because I don't eat nothing you eating, but not the bill
Mhm.
$400 because I don't have 5 martinis
And no
so,
food.
like, and no
Yeah.
food,
Some bread.
some
little,
bread.
little the free bread.
But I do think it's
That's
like that.
crazy.
But you know, I don't know. Detroit girls are spoiled too. I'm
We
just
are
gonna
so
leave that
spoiled.
right
We
there
are so
because we
spoiled.
are spoiled.
We're used to a certain caliber of men. Florida too.
Yeah.
Listen,
And on
We
that
was
note,
listening.
And on that note,
and on
We
that
gotta
note,
wrap it up, guys.
gotta
It has
wrap
been
it
so
up.
fun, Ashley.
Ashley,
Thank you for coming
coming
into the
on.
podcast.
You're amazing.
What do you have
Come on.
anything coming up or where they
What's
can
next for
find
you?
you?
you know, find me on social media, Miss Ashley A. Williams, MS, not MISS, on all social media pages.
soon to be MRS.
And well, yeah, where you know what? Listen, as long as you cool with me being a Gemini, it's all good. 'Cause we get a bad, we get a
Your
bad rap.
birthday.
May 28th, it just passed.
I love Gemini.
Hey, we good people.
Happy
Gemini.
belated birthday.
We good people. No, I'm creating stuff, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, we'll see about the new season of the show, how that goes. and see what happens. That's
Whoop,
pretty much it.
Nice.
Well, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Somebody's Auntie. Make sure y'all send us your questions. If you need advice, if you have a crazy story, if you want to ask us a personal question about us, send it to somebody'sauntie@gmail.com. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, somebody's_auntie, and we'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
Bye.
Later, babies.
Bye.
That was fun.